Also, there's a couple things like but you don't really know or think about it or realize it until you've kind of been in the situation. I mean, not to make light of the circumstance, but it was weird when I got on the plane because I was flying China Southern Airlines, and every airline has their message. Don't mess with the smoke detectors. Blah blah blah. It's against the law. But the China Southern Airlines, like I didn't sure I heard it right, but when I got on again, because that's all I'm flying right now, um, it said something like any behavior or any misbehaving, and you will be detained. Like that's some serious stuff. Not like penalty of law. Not like fined. It's you're gonna be detained. No, I mean there was more to it, but just kind of hearing that, I'm like, wow, that's that's pretty serious. A couple other funny things when I landed in China. They're directing, oh, go this way if you're arriving, if you're gonna catch another, transferring. One of the um, Chinese, I don't know what workers at the airport, were trying to get a hold, talking to some lady, and her way of getting hold of her was, hey, foreigner, where are you going? Again, it was meant to be very polite, very nicely said. It's just funny, hey, foreigner, where are you going? And while I was in China, I was trying to get on their Wi-Fi, but I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. Um, I mean, there's a special kiosk you do to kind of log in and everything, get Wi-Fi. Um, said I was connected on my phone, but I was trying, it wouldn't open up any pages, and then it dialed on me. I tried a few different things, like Google, it's not here in China, it's blocked. Facebook, it's blocked in China. And a few other pages I was doing there's blocked, and I had to use like Yahoo to look stuff up. Like Googling isn't a thing in China. And actually, on the flight here to LA, they serve you food, and the last meal they offered, for breakfast, it's either it was an omelet or like Chinese dim sum. And the lady's like, oh, you want an omelet? I'm like, no, I'll take the dim sum, because why not? And like her face lit up, like it was like the most entertaining thing for her that I asked for the dim sum and not the omelet. Another funny thing I saw, I mean, it makes sense, but to me, it's just not something I think, or at least I don't think about a lot or see ever. But while I was in China, I mean, there was like actual, monks, orange robes, waiting for the airport. But most of them were kind of talking. But there's this one, cross-legged on the seat at the terminal, on his tablet, and I thought that was very unique. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but in my head it was just kind of out there a little bit. And landing here in LA was probably like one of my favorite things. There's this young kid, couple rows, um, ahead of me. I don't know, I'd guess 5 or 6. I couldn't really see him, but the story is I heard him, and he was overly excited when we got to LA. I mean, maybe not overly appropriately excited that we got to LA. He's like, where's Mickey's house? I can't wait to see Mickey. And he's just screaming on the top of his lungs. And I don't know, I thought that was purely amazing. I mean, he's just so excited. And this kid was on just a 14-hour flight from China. I mean, didn't sound like he had a Chinese accent, so I'm not quite sure where they were from. So they had to fly into China. So they could have been coming from Australia or some other part of the world and had to transfer there in China. But he was on a long flight, and good for him. I hope he has a great time at Disneyland. I mean, I'm just gonna keep talking. It's 2:30. You guys are more than welcome to continue watching or not. But a story. Actually, one of my only really regrets on this trip. It was the first day going out to Uluru. Going out there, we stopped at the little center that's before it, and they have a shop there and a lot of cool stuff. And the moment I saw it, I knew I should have bought it. It was a hat, and it was a nice hat. It's somewhat similar to this one. It was like a dark brown, but way better material. Also kangaroo leather, and it cost about 70 Australian dollars, and that's about like 60 US. I should have bought it right then and there. I wanted to go back, buy it. It was kind of my greatest regret because I didn't get a chance to, and on the outside, everything's a lot more expensive. Actually, this one, I think it's a little bit inferior compared to that one. But this one was about 80, so not too much of a difference. But I should have bought the other one by far. Should have bought that one, but oh well. I mean, this one's kind of cool because it's actually meant to be folded up, so you can fold it like really small. That's for transportation. Um, but still, only regret. New Zealand, I don't really have too many stories. I mean, it was cool. I don't think I'd ever go back there. I mean, there's a lot more to do. Maybe I just did it wrong. I just wasn't that impressed with it. It was just kind of cool. Glad I went, but I don't think there's any real need for me to go back. You know, I really actually enjoyed Australia. After New Zealand, I was a little 50-50 on it, but I mean, from the moment I got there, everything I did in Sydney, in the Outback, Melbourne, it was just a blast, and I'd definitely like to go back. It's a big country, big continent. There's a lot to do there. Like I wanted to go see the zoo out there near Brisbane, the Steve Irwin Zoo. Love to go back in the Outback. Actually, I wouldn't mind, staying there. It's kind of a quiet life, a lot of property. Kind of do your own thing. I really like that. Another funny story from the Melbourne night out last night. This lady Caroline, it was so funny. I mean, there was 11 of us. Me, Caroline, this dude Jimmy, and then there was these 4 Indian couples. And at the second bar we went to, Caroline was well beyond tipsy, and she came over to me and started talking to me, and the music was playing, and she's kind of talking soft, and I didn't hear her, so I'm like, sorry, I didn't get anything you just said. Apparently that was the wrong thing to say to her, because she turned on me, flipped the switch, and was yelling at me, saying I shouldn't be rude, and then that no matter, even if I can't hear what she's saying, just agree with it, nod my head, say yes, okay. And then she took me outside the bar, was yelling at me outside, and told me to loosen up, calm down, leave kind of all the California vibe outside the door, and go back in brand new and have fun. I'm like, all right, no problem. I mean, I've been called rude and aloof and whatnot, but never to that extent. And I mean, in this case, I'm not sure it was really warranted, because all I was like, hey, sorry, I didn't know what you said. One thing I didn't get to see while I was here, surprisingly, was a koala. Definitely didn't see one in the wild. And then even when we went to the zoo, I tried to go early enough to catch them, because they're night creatures. But yeah, they were off hiding in their beds. So only thing I didn't get to see, I mean, I saw wild kangaroos, in the zoo, saw wild dingoes. I mean, just about everything except koalas. All right, well, it's about 3 o'clock now, 10 till. You guys have already watched 20 minutes of mad rambling. I'll let you guys go. I mean, I have plenty of stories. Can't remember them all right now. I'm really tired. I'm gonna try to catch some Z's. But yeah, I'll talk to you all later.